One thing about humans, no matter where you are, people are connected through fashion. It is a form of art and self-expression. It is a way to find community, a way to feel confident, a way to show off culture. At times, fashion can even show political statements. There are so many brands, styles, and so many websites to buy clothing from. Unfortunately, there is a dark side to fashion, one that not only affects us as humans, but affects the earth itself. The large contribution towards fast fashion and the global waste it produces. Every single day, trends evolve and the popular style changes. With the accessibility of fast fashion, it's possible to move on quickly. But what ends up happening? Old clothes are either donated or tossed away. Little did you know, most of these clothes end up in landfills. Fast fashion is something we need to start avoiding. Fast fashion is an unethical way of producing, buying clothes, and it's ruining the environment we live in. If we don't take action, things will get worse. When people think of fast fashion, they think of Shein, AliExpress, and Amazon. But it branches out more than that. Fast fashion includes brands like Zara, Aeropostale, Forever 21, Hollister, and many other popular store brands. The definition of fast fashion is a business model that is rapid and high in volume of production at an inexpensive price. But not only that, material comes into the cost as well. Cheap materials are used in order to create these pieces of clothing. We usually underestimate how unethical and damaging fast fashion can be. According to the environmental impact of fast fashion explained by Earth.org, fast fashion contributes to 10% of global carbon emissions. Water resources are dried up and rivers are polluted. They mentioned that 85% of textiles are thrown away every year. With these cheap materials that are being used, over 500,000 tons of microfibers are transferred into the ocean every single year. This overall contributes to not only pollution of drinking water, but increases the microplastics, which are non-biodegradable. Our everyday drinking water is being contaminated. This also affects nature, specifically animals. Animals drink from these rivers, lakes, etc. With an unhealthy consumption of microplastics, it comes with risks. Once people move away from a style and buy others, they either donate or throw away clothes, causing overconsumption and waste. As a vintage reseller, I go thrifting every day, every week. I've been doing this about 4 years now. Every year, I experience firsthand how fast fashion impacts. Clothing racks at Goodwills are increasing in fast fashion every single year. Most stores now have limited vintage clothing donated due to the high volumes of these cheap pieces. And most of the time, people don't want to buy them. So what happens when these pieces aren't bought? They are shipped away to a landfill, rotting and harming the earth. Some critiques may argue that fast fashion is better because it's affordable. According to The Most Common Arguments Against Ethical Fashion and Why They're BS by Kate Hall, most people stated that they cannot afford ethical clothing. They state that ethical clothing is way too expensive compared to fast fashion. Yet still, there are so many ways to obtain ethical clothing. This includes buying secondhand. There are apps like Depop, Mercari, and Poshmark in which you can buy affordable ethical clothing. This is called slow fashion. You can also go thrifting for these items, go to garage sales, etc. Another argument people also state, according to Kate Hall, is that they are giving people jobs. However, the conditions of these jobs for their employees are horrible. They are unethical and strip humans of their born rights. It's extremely dangerous, underpaying, and forcing workers and children to work. According to the environmental impact of fast fashion explained by Earth.org, fast fashion sales and profits are often prioritized over human welfare. In 2013, an 8-floor factory building which had multiple fast fashion garment factories collapsed in Dhaka, Bangladesh. This ended up killing 1,134 workers and injuring over 2,500. And unfortunately, because most of these factories are in undeveloped nations, there are no regulations. Overall, fashion is going to be an important thing for us. But we can be fashionable and still be ethical. Fast fashion is not the way. It is extremely unethical by the way it's made, the way factories treat their employees, the working conditions, and the way it is obtained. It is also extremely harmful for our environment. It creates overconsumption, global waste by polluting waters, the air, and the earth we live in. We need to put a stop to this now. Always reduce, reuse, and recycle. Make sure to contribute to slow fashion. Thrift, buy secondhand, use apps, whatever is necessary. With this, we can save our planet.